Then for your lead gen schedule, how long do you budget for doing that on a daily basis? And is that every day, or is that like a 4-day or 3-day a week, or what does that look like for you?
Um, I work every day. I wish I could sit here and tell you that I had a exact schedule that I sit down and make calls. But I can tell you that I'm calling every day. That might look a little bit different by the day today,
Mhm.
but it's happening every day. And the consistency is something that I am teaching my team to know the value of, because you could have a bad day. You can call and nobody wants to meet with you for a listing, and
Sure.
you do it enough, and the next 2 days you could have 4 listing appointments.
Right.
So consistency is key.
I think that's a really nice point that you bring up, that that you have to be, I'll call it almost like, give yourself some grace with your schedule. I mean, when you have a family and when you have things that come up, I think it's really important to have that mental dexterity to say, yeah, but it wasn't exactly at the time that I planned it today, but that doesn't mean that I didn't get it in. So
Right.
that's a big deal, because I hear that a lot. It's like, oh my gosh, my morning got away from me. It's like, well, where's your afternoon? So, it makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's really reassuring and reaffirming to know that, even someone that's producing at the level you are still doesn't have necessarily, that rigidity, that we all long to achieve. So that makes a lot of
Absolutely.
sense. Yeah, that makes a
Absolutely. I mean, for your new expireds, if you can get on the phone early the day of, it's only going to make your life easier. But
lot.
for everybody else, like, as long as you're making your calls daily and doing it consistently, you'll see the results from it.
Oh,
And I
that's
would have to think that for sale by owners and especially old expireds, you can call them any time of day, and it's not as time sensitive as that fresh
sure.
expired that morning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Day of.
plenty of work. There's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just day of expireds are really the only exception to that rule that I
Yeah.
have found.
Mhm.
And you can even call them at any point in the day. You're just going to have more objections.
Yeah.
Right.
A
Or
little
that
annoying.
is still required every hour past 8 a.m.
That's
So
actually,
it's,
that is a good point. That is a very good point. To switch gears a little bit, talk to us about for sale by owners. What are you finding in that lead generation silo right now? Like, what is your process with them? How often do you find that you call them to get them to convert? Do you have any hacks in the for sale by owner world that you found are useful that you could share?
Yeah, I wanna say most of my business that I personally did last year was for sale by owner, and a lot of people are like, how does that even work? Because, they seem harder at times than expireds,
Mhm.
because they're not sold on the idea that an agent has the value, right? So, first and foremost, come from truthfully, I know so many people have said this, but it's for a reason. Come from a place of true contribution, and don't think about getting the listing first. Think about truthfully helping these people and asking open-ended questions as to why they're choosing this pathway.
Mhm.
And they will tell you through that conversation, maybe the second conversation, depending on how far you can get, of how to sell them. And really that's by helping them.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
Mhm.
are you doing like preliminary consultative appointments with them, or are you just giving them market feedback on the phone, or what things of value are you finding that you need to bring to them in order to build that trust for them to let you in to their world?
Yeah, so a lot of agents have different ways of going about it, none of which I think are wrong. But just my way of going about it, I don't personally preview anything. I do want to come right out and say, I would love to assist you by working as a team and getting your property sold. And here, I'm very data driven.
Mhm.
Here's the evidence based on the last X amount of people that I've helped in your zip code, in your neighborhood, whatever the situation may be, and I'm confident I can do it for you. Let's get together for 15 or 20 minutes so I can show you how to do that. So it's really more of, let me show you how I can help you, and then
Mhm.
you decide whether that's going to be the best decision for you or not.